Great advice there, Michelle. Make a conscious effort to get outdoors. I signed up with David Suzuki, and I feel like once you commit to that, you are more likely to actually do it, right? We'll talk about some marathons, closures this weekend. That's all coming up in a second, but first, and we continue to bring you the latest. More updates are coming up in Force of Nature. Now, when we talk about a closure, yeah, the Gardiner is closing this weekend. DVP last weekend, Gardiner now for the spring maintenance, and Kevin Yard was covering this story. Yeah, great advice there. Take public transit or just avoid going in Toronto altogether. On Sunday morning, they have the Toronto Marathon, so more street closures along with that. Public transit, or again, just avoid it. Now, we'll talk about some of our temperatures here. It's May, officially, and you know what? We are into a warmer trend. April was a little below seasonal. May, looking a lot better. This is a little snapshot of what you can expect into Sunday. A mix of sun and clouds, isolated showers. We have a question mark with that there because it could totally be a miss for us. We are seeing some cooler air aloft, and this could be bringing some showers throughout the early morning hours on Sunday. I know, not great if you're running the Mississauga Marathon or Toronto, but it also could be a miss as well. And here's a look at the temperatures. Well, it's the first day of May, starting off the new month with a warmer trend as well. We'll have all those details coming up throughout the hour, plus a look into the weekend. Yeah, just coming up. But first, I want to show you the must-see video here. It really is just devastating footage and not the situation they want to see. Now, in terms of our weather situation here throughout southern Ontario, things are looking good into the weekend. There is a risk of seeing a few stray showers, but they will be quick to happen, quick to leave. So, hey, set up a tea time and get outside, enjoy a game of golf. Mike Arsenault has more. Oh, made it onto the green. I golfed on TV one time. Yeah, it wasn't as good as that, and I'll probably never do it again. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on throughout southern Ontario. Onto a patio. Conditions are going to be very nice. The 30 by 30 challenge by David Suzuki. Get outside, enjoy 30 minutes of nature. Today, perfect day to do just that. So you can see here, we are going to be getting into a few cloudy periods, but it's just going to be a beautiful summer day. Notice some of these showers starting to pop up. Likely to miss the city of Toronto. If they do happen, they should be quick and brief. We just have a cooler layer of air aloft, and this could allow for some rain. We're going to run the same risk as well as we get into Sunday morning and Sunday evening. Saturday, it's going to be nice and clear. We are looking at a beautiful forecast here. Now, I know a lot of people, Mississauga Marathon, Toronto Marathon, that looks to be Sunday. Great conditions, 22 degrees. Throughout the morning, I know we have the rain icon back into the forecast. Quick, brief showers possible throughout the morning hours, and then we have our next low moving through late day Sunday and into Monday. Thanks, Michelle. And you know what? Sitting out on a patio, enjoying whatever kind of drink you want counts as being outside in nature, and you can do just that today. I will have all the details on today's forecast and getting into the weekend, getting outside into nature. It's all coming up in a second, but first, have you heard about the situation? This is not the situation you want. Also, for travel in the weekend, not the situation you want with the Gardiner closing, the Toronto Marathon Sunday morning as well. Lots of closures, and Kevin Yard was covering that story. Yeah, out in the garden, that counts as a part of the David Suzuki 30 by 30 challenge, so sign up. You can do that today. I did. Now let's take a look at some of the moisture coming into play. Friday throughout the afternoon, we could see a few stray, very spotty showers. We have a layer of cool air aloft, and that could allow us to see some rain. We also have the potential to see this on Sunday morning as well. Quick to happen, quick to leave. Here's a look at some of the temperatures though. Toronto, beautiful, 22 degrees on Sunday. We are thinking that yes, this is probably going to be the best weekend that we've seen so far this year. Well, glad to see ya. Happy May. Happy Friday as well. Thanks for tuning into the Weather Network. We are talking about a great weekend, probably one of the best weekends that we've seen all year long. I will have the details in a second, but first let's talk about our international story here, of course, in Nepal. The Canadians, of course, getting out of the country, and theweathernetwork.com, a perfect source of information if you want to read more international news. Now, let's talk about our golf swing. Mike Arsenault brushing up on his skills. Here he is. Weather plays a factor on everything, doesn't it? Yeah, and you know what? Weather is going to be in our favor as we jump into May. We saw a cooler trend over the past 3 months. April was a little bit better, but May, well, it's looking to be the best. And this is as we compare it to climate norms. Not just the fact that, yeah, we are getting warmer into the spring. We will actually be slightly above seasonal here, and that's what this orangey color represents. And into the weekend, conditions are looking great. Here's a little snapshot into Sunday. There's a question mark on the isolated showers. We are seeing a few bands of moisture in the atmosphere, some cooler air aloft that could produce some rain throughout the very early morning hours. So quick to happen, quick to leave, light as well. You might not even need an umbrella with some of these showers. This is what Monday's looking like. We do have a new system moving through. A cold front is going to pass through on Tuesday. Our temperatures are going to drop, but they will rebound. Stay with us and check out your local forecast. Well, happy May. We're starting off with a warmer trend, a new month. We have some construction going on the Gardner. Kevin Yard is going to update us on that in just a second. But first, I want to show you a fire here. You start to spark up. So a story that we are keeping a very close eye on here at the Weather Network. Also keeping a close eye on what's going on throughout the city of Toronto. Lots of road closures this weekend with the Toronto Marathon and the closure of the Gardner. Some spring maintenance. Kevin has more. Yeah, closures in Mississauga as well. Sunday morning, Burnham Thorpe, Mississauga Road, down to Lakeshore, again with the marathon as well. So travel this weekend, take the bike. The weather is going to be perfect to do just that as well. Waking up Saturday morning to 10 degrees. And as you can look here, a few clouds will roll through. Notice some of those pop-up showers. We have a cooler layer of air, I should say, aloft. And this could spark up a few showers. Light in nature, not a thunderstorm risk associated with this. But you could just see really a little bit of rain here. You might not even need the umbrella with this. The same sort of story goes into Sunday morning as well. Right when the marathons kick off, we could see a few pop-up showers, but it's not going to be a soaking by any means. Now, this is a look at the temperature trend here. You can see Tuesday is going to be a cooler day. That's as a cold front passes through. But as we look at the weekend, above seasonal and just beautiful conditions here. When we hold on to some of those temperatures, yeah, Thursday's really looking like only the cool day. This is a 7-day forecast here for Hamilton, and you can see back into the end of next week into the mid-20s. Spring is here. This is a look at our developing stories here at the Weather Network. Rachel Schoutsen and Cheryl Plouffe here with you. We're going to talk about summer's pre-show. Who's looking at temperatures into the upper 20s? Will you see storms? Thunderstorms are in the forecast. And we're also looking at ready for the chase. Of course, Jacqueline Whitall and Mark Robinson, they're ready to go to Tornado Alley.
A whole bunch of people are heading stateside to go chasing for storms. But here in southern Ontario, we don't have any weather to speak of because we have high pressure in place. And what better time than to think about getting out to hit the links, be it indoors or outdoors. Let's turn it over to Mike Arsenault.
Yeah, great point there. And you know what? We're going to show you the thunderstorm risk for today. Does not include Ontario. This is a look at Saturday afternoon, and we are seeing beautiful conditions. This could be the best weekend of the year for Ontario.
So far. Let's hope we have more just like that. Back into this afternoon, though, for southern Manitoba, look at the temperatures. We're in the low to mid-20s, and then even northern Ontario is faring pretty well in the high teens, so looking pretty good. In fact, let's continue our journey as we go further to the west and check in on Banff, because there's a beautiful webcam actually from Banff, Alberta that shows us the conditions there, and we're talking in the mountains of some cloud cover certainly, but
coming
the potential,
into play, yeah. And the potential to see some mixing as well. So that's going to be through the overnight tonight, and even snow as well into the forecast on Saturday morning. But a little bit of a foggy scene here.
Yeah.
Usually this is a beautiful webcam.
Okay, let's take a look at our wind forecast as we take a look at what's happening with our wind fields. The winds are going to be picking up in strength a little bit, and we'd call them light to moderate winds really across the prairies, and the potential for some storms, in fact. So we'll be looking for that. Let's talk storm chasing, though. The preparations are underway for the vehicle right now.
Here's Mark Robinson. Yeah, it's going to be a tough weekend for travel throughout the GTA, that's for sure. Toronto Marathon, Gardner closure, Mississauga Marathon as well. Sunday morning, walk or take the bike. That's going to be the easiest way to get around. I'm Rachel Schoutsen. Thanks so much for watching the Weather Network this afternoon. And as we look at what's going on out in the Atlantic, a drying trend through today. That's the good news. This is a weak trough that should move throughout the day on Saturday. Just some very light showers. You almost don't even need an umbrella. That's sort of the trend that we're getting into here. This is a look at our convective outlook. So some storms firing up stateside. The risk is pretty minimal over the next few days. And when we talk about some storms, well, Calgary is in a thunderstorm risk today. Here's Deb. And scattered showers, too, throughout central and northern portions of Alberta. Thanks for that, Deb. We'll look at our temperatures now out in the Atlantic. And when we look at this, it's below seasonal, yes, but small victories, right? Temperatures are slowly just climbing out in the Maritimes. And you know what? By about Monday, Fredericton will be in the 20s. So that's the good news here. This is a little snapshot into Sunday. So Moncton at 17. Look at Edmundston, even up to 21. When we talk about temperatures this warm, the same thing is going on throughout Ontario and Quebec as well. When we look at the city of Toronto, temperatures into the mid-20s this weekend. I do want to recap again and mention some of the closures that will be going on this weekend with the Mississauga Marathon and the Toronto Marathon as well. So you do have to sort of take public transit, walk if you can anywhere, because we will be seeing that, and as well as the Gardiner, of course, for spring cleaning. We'll have more on your national forecast. That's all coming up. All right, thanks for that, Kim. And when we look at the possibility of lightning today, well, here it is. The thunderstorm risk map stretches out of the BC interior all the way up and towards northern Manitoba. So if you're out today and you hear the rumble of thunder, yeah, best thing is to head indoors. All right, now let's look ahead. Cheryl and Doug have the Long Ranger.
Thank you so much for that, Kelly. These are the developing stories this hour at the Weather Network.
Yeah, and we also saw some rain as we head north throughout Alberta today. Spotty showers, that's going to be in the forecast, and also the risk of seeing some of those thunderstorms. So if you live in an area highlighted in this red color, thunderstorms are a possibility throughout the day today. Into this afternoon, you can see here, it feels like summer almost.
It's beautiful. Lots of sunshine, a bit in the way of cloud cover, but overall, temperatures are pretty great across the prairies. But there are some changes coming. Notice that this is the upper level temperatures here, but that has a huge bearing on what we experience down below, because it does often result in some weather. But look at this low pressure system arriving for the BC coast early next week.
The good news on that is it's really not coming until Tuesday, so that means high pressure in place for the weekend and beautiful conditions. BC's looking at a great weekend. Ontario also looking at a very nice weekend as well. These showers here just associated with a very weak trough throughout the day today. Now I want to show you a special little feature here. Of course, Angry Planet airs tonight at 1 a.m. and this is a look at George Karunis and what you can expect in tonight's episode. The good news is all of that rain really drying up through the Maritimes, just spotty showers today throughout New Brunswick. The Avalon also clearing through this afternoon, and the winds as well. This is a look at some of our wind gusts. We are not seeing really breezy conditions. Look how that nicely clears out through the Gulf. The Avalon, yeah, you'll be seeing the regular breeze, but overall the wind story is not going to be a big one throughout the Maritime provinces. I want to take you now, before we talk about what's going on across the prairies, to Vancouver. The BC coast drying up, the lower mainland looking pretty good this weekend, about seasonal in terms of the temperatures and nice and dry. Where we are seeing the risk of those spotty showers moving through, that's throughout Alberta. Also a thunderstorm risk in the BC interior as well. You can see how this will play out. This low is actually going to track across Saskatchewan throughout Saturday. And again, not a powerful low here, just spotty showers moving through. It's not really a safe forecast this weekend in terms of not bringing the umbrella at all. Stray showers. They're tricky to forecast, but you could be caught in them over the next few days here. When we total up some of the rain, less than 5 millimeters. So again, you can see the strength of this is very weak. But if a thunderstorm does roll through, here's a thunderstorm risk, then of course some rainfall totals could be higher in those situations.